some inside information. It's gonna be a long one, so yo, get ready, yo. This is the transcript of day 5. I did it the first time, but it wasn't the first it wasn't all the information. Now, this is all the information. This is all the information that you need right here. And then like though, we'll wait for the closing trial. But other than that, this is an adult channel. Adult things do happen. Adult things do go on. You will hear me smoking. You will hear me talking crazy. You will hear me talking shit. You will hear me saying some things that probably offend you. So just take all this with a grain of salt. If you're under 18, get your parents' permission before watching this video. Other than that, let's go.
I've got the full day of transcript of Cassie's cross-examination by the defense, and we're going to jump straight into it. So it started this morning with the judge. The government has said the defense's cross-examination can go until 4:30 p.m. today, and they'll limit themselves to 30 minutes of redirect. Then this is Diddy's lawyer. I'll read the person's name once, and then as we continue, you guys just follow along. You can see it on the screen. Hopefully it's big enough. So Diddy's lawyer, Estavio, I was been pronouncing it wrong. It's Estavio. She says, we have evidentiary issues. Tell me about them. Should have been in writing, meaning they should have been in writing. We don't understand why they are taking time objecting to our exhibits. Then the prosecutor Johnson says they are proposing to use a video of Mr. Combs walking in nature, talking about God. It is improper, and it invited jury nullification. The judge says, let's hear it. So then they play the video about Diddy talking about God walking amongst nature. Now, this was supposed to be when he was at some rehab facility for his drug addiction in Sedona, Arizona. And they are saying that him walking around in nature in this video proves that he was, I guess, enlightened and going through therapy, going through the treatment. I don't know. I talked about this in another one of the recaps I did today about this whole thing, which should be coming out probably in a few minutes. So then it goes on to say this was about him being in rehab, which Miss Ventura didn't remember. So we want to refresh her recollection with this. It cannot be played for her in front of the jury. We have headphones.
How's she not gonna remember the rehab? That's the part that got me fucked up. How's she not gonna remember that?
And the judge just replies, our jury is ready. Any more issues? If the grape is after the charged conduct, it shouldn't have come in. It's a huge issue for us. It's not a huge issue. You didn't raise it at the time. We thought we could cross on it. So that's just giving a little bit back and forth. Again, this is not going to be everything that happens in the courtroom. This is how much that Matthew Russell Lee at Inner City Press, where I'm getting this from, is able to kind of write down and get out here so that we can have some type of transcript. Because as you know, cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, nor can you have a recording device, nor can you have your phone. At least you're not supposed to. I don't know if he has special privilege to do that. But continuing. All rise. Good morning. You are still under oath, Ms. Ventura. You believe Mr. Combs was blacked out for the Intercontinental event? I believe he was intoxicated. Everyone's different. Everyone's definition is different. But you said blackout. What did you write here? I wrote, when you get effed up the wrong way. Now there's more to that. So if you want more details of what is being said, again, you're going to have to watch my other videos that I have coming out, that I put out, that go into great lengths and details all the things that were happening, the backstory, what's shown, all of that. But again, this is just kind of shorthand transcript. I know some of you guys get irritated when I clarify this, but you'd be surprised how many people question, why aren't you showing clips from the courtroom? Why aren't you saying this, that, and that other? I'm just reading what I have, guys. Okay, so we've all got to get educated on what's going on here, but I appreciate you rocking with me. So after she read her thing, when she said, I wrote, when you get effed up the wrong way, you meant drugs and alcohol. Here, Mr. Combs writes to you, I'm so horny for you. This is not evidence. The prosecutor interrupts. Mr. Combs is asking you for sex soon after the Intercontinental, right? I was saying who he felt, or I guess how he felt. I think that's what it means. I was saying how he felt.
So, other words, this dude bluntly saying Mr. Combs wrote, "Fuck Friday. I don't even want to go. I don't even want to do that again." You know what I mean? What did you write? So, hey, yo, that just goes to show that they were sitting there and split some messages back and forth, like the way before motherfucker they split up and all that good shit. But let's keep it going.
What did you write back? I wrote, we need a different vibe than Friday at the Intercontinental. Now, this is crucial because this relates to that Diddy video that we've seen of Diddy beating on Cassie at the Intercontinental. So, this is actually after that beating that they're texting back and forth in the subsequent days.
See, just like I said, after the motherfucker split up.
Mr. Combs wrote, F Friday, I don't even want to do that again. What did you write? I wrote, LOL, true. Mr. Combs suspected you of having an affair with someone else in the industry. What happened when he took your phone? We were in a car and he told me to call my mother. When I did, he grabbed my phone and took it. It was a big fight. He was just gone. How I'm sorry, she's saying it was a big fight. He was just gone. For how long? A few hours until my mother called the police. Adding clarification, her mother was asking if she's okay. She opened and Diddy told her to tell her mother that she's okay. When she opened her phone to do that, to unlock her phone, he grabbed her phone and started running down Wilshire Boulevard, okay, with her phone.
Wow.
And he left her without a phone for hours. And then when her mother didn't hear back from her, that's when she called the police. The mother called the police.
So he snagged her phone, was like motherfucker, give me your phone. So basically, he straight took her shit, was like, motherfucker, give me your shit. And started running down Wilshire Boulevard with her motherfucking phone. Said, you ain't getting this motherfucker back. You ain't getting it back. That's fucked up.
Did Mr. Combs go through your phone? I think so. He called someone on it. The person you had an affair with, an NFL player? I don't know if he's playing anymore, but I don't know if he's playing anymore. But he was an NFL player and he was jealous. That's what she's asking. We don't know who that name is. That hasn't been introduced yet. Like I said, I've gone through more details in this. Wasn't there a time he found out you were dancing with another person in the entertainment industry and took your phone, right? I don't remember. It was Chris Brown. I was not dancing with him. Look at this. It's from 2013. Now I see it.
Oh, so that's where Chris Brown come in at. So that's where he came in. Okay, so Chris Brown was dancing with her at a club, and Puff got mad and took the motherfucking phone and shit. Okay, okay, okay. We can roll with that. We can roll with that. Roll with that.
What else did Mr. Combs take? My car, my passport, when he was angry. He also took more. He would take her phone. He would take a number of things from her iPad. He would just, that was kind of like a punishment when she would make him angry or be disobedient. Let's refresh you about Mr. Combs being in rehab. I vaguely remember. Why did you go to Sedona? I went to Arizona to get away from the drugs. I'm going to go to a new topic. Mr. Combs told you to get the video you'd heard about. What did you write? I wrote, you keep putting me down. I'm going to play you some audio. Now, this is audio of Cassie threatening a guy. Cassie had a club appearance in 2018 in Atlantic City, and she would get paid between, I think.
Now, just letting you know There's some information you hear, you might be offended by it. Just letting you know, you might be offended by it. Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't know how much the estimates are ranging, but you get paid thousands of dollars for this. And these are some of the few things she could do to work to make her own money that Diddy would let her do. So when she was at this appearance, this guy walks up to her and tells her, I think his name is Sujit, that he has saw her freak off tape. Okay. And there's a whole lot that goes in more into that I'm not going to give you, but I just want you to understand this audio that they have is Cassie now threatening this guy. These are her own words, her threatening this guy because of the freak off tape. And there's a lot more of what she said than what's here. But she replied in the tape, she's saying, if you saw a video of someone effing me, who was effing me? You have it. Why didn't you show me? Because I'm not and then the guy replies, I guess, to her, because I'm not disrespectful, bro. So she's, I guess, filming this and saying this to him, but then she gets him saying back after she was going off on him like crazy. And then he just replies, because I'm not disrespectful, bro. Then Cassie responded some more. If you don't show me, I'll kill you, cut you up. This is still the audio. I will effing kill you. I've never killed anyone in my life. I'm going to F you up. It's not going to be blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it. I'm not playing with you, Sujit. Tell me. So she wanted to, so that's all that she was saying in there. Okay. I think there's a little bit more, but that's most of what she was saying to this guy. That was you, right? Yes. Did Mr. Combs express concerns about these videos being released? And then Cassie's like, when? And then ever? Yes. The escort, Jonathan, you thought he took it.
Let me throw that back. Did she say she was gonna kill this man? Wow, I will fucking kill you. I never killed anyone in my life. I'm gonna fuck you up. There's gonna be blood on my hands. Someone else is gonna do it. I'm not playing with you. Tell me. Wow. Cassie, yo, you better quit fucking with Cassie, boy. Cassie straight gangster, boy. She OG like that. She OG like that, boy. Better quit fucking with Cassie, boy. She will fuck your ass up.
I think there's a little bit more, but that's most of what she was saying to this guy. That was you, right? Yes. Did Mr. Combs express concerns about these videos being released? And then Cassie's like, when? And then ever? Yes. The escort, Jonathan, you thought he took a video? So this is Jonathan Odie coming back in. The guy we've talked about. He's the very famous person who shot up Trump Tower when he was arrested. That's when he spilled the beans about all of this freak off stuff. And this happened in 2018. Okay. The escort, Jonathan, you thought he took a video? Yes. Mr. Combs spent a lot of money to make sure the video did not get released. I don't know. You had a conversation with Jonathan Odie that was transcribed. I'm not sure. He was volatile. I didn't trust him. What did Mr. Combs say when you told him you thought Mr. Odie was recording? So this is when Cassie thought Jonathan Odie had recorded them doing a freak off. That she had saw him take out his phone. When this guy came up to her at the club and said that he saw it and she threatens to kill him and cusses him out, she tells Diddy. They believe that what he saw wasn't actually Diddy's video of a freak off that he has recorded. It was Jonathan Odie's version that he had sent to this other guy. And that's how that guy found out about it. I'm just giving you some context. What did Mr. Combs say when you told him you thought Mr. Odie was recording? He said he'd take care of it. Are you aware of an escort leaving comments on Mr. Combs' Instagram page? I am not. Now let's talk about rehab. Do you still use Suboxone? I think it's the name Suboxone. Something like that. What does it treat? Opioid addiction. Objection overruled. You wrote a book in rehab, the place the place treats sexual compulsion. So this rehab place also, this was something they were driving home, is that the rehab place also helps people with sex addiction. So not just if you're addicted to drugs or alcohol, but you can go there for other addictions, particularly sex addiction. So after they talked about the book she wrote in rehab, objection, sidebar. Now they're back. Did you get neurofeedback therapy? Yes. What is it? They hook something up to your head and show you things, see how you react. Were you told the effects of it? Yes, it was to help me with my trauma. Did you participate in EMDR? Yes. What does it do? Memories and processing. That helps with the memories. It changes it up. There's a lot more to this, but so I'm going to give you guys a more robust understanding. So they were particularly talking about this, what type of therapy she used. Now the EMDR, it is to help actually change the way the brain sees trauma and to reframe it, to retell the story to the brain so that when you see it again, when you remember it again, it no longer is attached to trauma. It's like, you know how you could see a car crash, and that while that is very traumatic, if you're not in it and you're driving past the crash, you see it, you witness it, but it doesn't have the emotional impact. It doesn't have the trauma of you actually being in it. That's the only way to define it. So it takes you from being in the accident to just a person driving past the accident.
So she had to go to sex class. She had to go through all this therapy, and she don't even remember this shit.
And really, you don't assign emotions or trauma to what you're seeing, even though it is very gruesome. Okay, so more. The idea is you recall prior traumatic memories, like for PTSD. Were you treated for PTSD? Yes. I was still physically developing. You were 22? Women keep developing after 22, don't you think? But you're not suggesting you were still physically developing after 22. I am not. This message is about having a freak off without ketamine, right? May I confer with counsel? No, but we'll take a break. So the jury leaves and then they're back. Sorry, this is some things that happened while the jury was out. The judge, witness list needs to be in by Sunday, 5 p.m. He has a note, Matthew does here, that says, but will this and other filings, which are clearly judicial documents, be in the docket? So this is an issue that Matthew Russell Lee is having with this case. Matthew Russell Lee covered the Ghislaine Maxwell. He's covered all of these big cases coming out of the Southern District of New York, and people rely on him for information and for him to put out the dockets that are filed with the court for these specific cases. He then will publish so that the public can see, so the public has access to them. Because and what he's finding strange, and he keeps mentioning this over and over, all of these documents, all of these exhibits that are being submitted to the court, they're not being made public. They're not on the public docket so that he can share them, so that he can read them and put them out there. He is saying that is very, very weird for a case. And keep in mind, like I said, he's even covered the Ghislaine Maxwell one. So if he's saying that this is wild, then there's a problem.
Okay, now somebody explain to me the Ghislaine Maxwell case, because I don't know nothing about that one.
But there's, if you ever do research on him, he's covered, I mean, huge things, even like big drug kingpins and serial killers, everything you can imagine. We'll continue. So the judge, as for these long text messages, use binders so we can save time. Then the judge, now we're going to take a real break. They're back. Mr. Combs wrote, you're so predictable. You said you were going to tell him you didn't want to do freak offs anymore, but you didn't say it, did you? I did not. Here, you are suggesting freaking off with a girl. You say you found a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina. Let me make sure I'm getting everything, because I feel like there should have been something else after that. No, it's correct. So Cassie made a suggestion to have a freak off with another girl in a text message. And now this is Gina. I have a whole thing about Gina I could get into, but we'll keep it moving. You say you found a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina while you were staying with your parents in Connecticut, right? Yes. You decided to break up with him and he didn't threaten you, but suggested couples counseling. I don't know. In August
Mm.
of 2018, you called it a closure conversation. Mr. Combs was inviting you to Burning Man, right? Yes. I'll read Mr. Combs. You have anger. Then Cassie is replying her part in the exchange. So the defense attorney reads as Mr. Combs telling her, you have anger. Then she wrote, my family knows. I'm not running around telling our business. I wrote, I don't need you to be taking take of Kim and Gina. I don't know what that means. I think it's a typo. I don't need you to be something of Kim and Gina. I need you to put me first. So Kim is Kim Porter, his former baby mother, and Gina Hun. Kim Porter is the mother to three of his children. Previously, they cross-examined her about being jealous about Kim Porter going on family vacations with Diddy, especially during the holidays. He would spend time with his baby mothers and the kids, but Cassie was not included. And in fact, she wouldn't even hear from him sometimes, and he wouldn't let her come along. So she was upset about that because Diddy has another daughter that daughter's mother never goes along with that. The daughter goes, but the mother doesn't. So she was trying to say, why does Kim have to be there if you're spending time with your kids? Because Chance's mother essentially is not there. Now, Gina Hun is a woman that Diddy has had an on and off relationship with for years. She's not testified. She gave an interview on Tasha K's podcast back in 2018 about how Diddy was really abusive to her, kicked her in the stomach while she's pregnant.
Dang.
But even though she did that about Diddy, this is a woman who keeps cycling back into his life over and over and over. But we know Kim Porter eventually died.
But see, Kim Porter had a book about him, I think. I think Kim Porter had a book about him. I could be wrong.
A lot of people suspect that Diddy could have been part of it. And as a tidbit, really quickly, guess who was there the morning that the ambulance and the police and everything showed up? A guy named Corey Gamble. You know who Corey Gamble is? He's actually photographed there the day Kim Porter died while all the EMTs, everyone is there. Corey Gamble is the boyfriend of Kris Jenner.
Hmm?
I can go into a whole Justin Bieber, rabbit trail with that, a whole CIA, a whole Fed.
What?
There are people who say that Diddy is actually a Fed and they actually help him, and he just pissed off the wrong people. They're throwing him away. That's why he's finally being charged. That's why he's finally in court. But I just want to throw that out there because I will be investigating other things, like especially if we get to the end of this case that were brought up in examining that. But Corey Gamble being there, the tied to Kris Jenner, the Kardashians, that's wild. Let's keep going. So Cassie wanted him to put her first. Please read these. I wrote, you lied to me. She never went away. It was the nail in the coffin. You meant Gina, the photo? Yes. In your civil lawsuit, you say Mr. Combs raped you in September 2018 after you had dinner at an Italian restaurant in Malibu, right? Yes. Did you meet with the US did you meet with I guess with the government, with the feds on November 30th, 2023? Yes, not the exact date. In this meeting, you said the grape took place after Mr. Combs returned from Burning Man. You said he was acting strangely at the dinner. I don't remember exactly that word. Did you meet the government on April 8th, 2025? Around then. This message to FB, who's that? Frank Black, a name he used. So this is a name Diddy used when they would check into hotels for free golfs. He wrote, I'm in an investors conference. We'll get back to this. You still have love for him? I have love for the past and what it was. There was more to that. She actually said that I don't hate Diddy and that she has love for the past and what their relationship was. And then they have another sidebar. Then next, you wrote, I didn't mean to be a biatch. Okay. I just didn't get the time. He writes, just need you to be positive, correct? Yes. DX 1309. This is about a yoga instructor. Yep. What did you write? I wrote, I've stopped even caring. But you did care. Yeah. So he said you could date other people. Let's just talk about it, correct? Yes. What did you write? I wrote, I do love you. I would just prefer not being one of your girlfriends. Let's get up tomorrow night. I'll do studio from 6 to 9. He writes, can I hold you or are you just going to break up with me? And you write back, we can embrace, LOL. And you wanted him to hug you, right? That's what I said. Did you have sexual intercourse with Mr. Combs that night? I did. And during that, your now husband FaceTimed you? Her husband, Alex Fine? Yes. Your now husband didn't know you were with Mr. Combs at the time. I don't know what he knew. Later, he discovered it. Objection overruled. You don't know. I mean, said, does your husband know? I think this is supposed to say your husband were raped. Do you know does your husband know that you were raped? Oh, I'm saying the word, were raped. Not that evening. I'm not laughing about what happened. I'm just laughing at my goofy self. Can't read. After Miss Porter's memorial service, you wrote to him that you were going home. Why had he called Kim his soulmate? What was the 11 years all about? So the way I'm reading this sounds weird. But so after Kim Porter died, she had a memorial service, she wrote to him I'm going home. And then she was saying that, why are you calling Kim your soulmate? What was the 11 years that we had essentially all about? All right. So Cassie is confirming that she did write that. She says, yes, about? That was hurtful at the time. Yes. And after that memorial service, you never saw Mr. Combs again, right? I did not. He let you go, right? I never saw him again. I don't know about him letting me go. You got married to the love of your life, right? So before she can get to that, the judge breaks again. Let's get this done before the jury returns. We still think it's appropriate for this message to come in, but we still have issues with phrases like, I'd like to reconnect. What state of mind, this has got weird. What state of mind is being offered for? Is this being offered for? So what state of mind is this being offered for? There are portions that are properly admissible. So this needs to be redacted if it is going to be admitted into evidence. For example, in the 5th paragraph, I've been getting my life together. No. All right, continuing. We can get that in through other exhibits. Okay, we can get that in through other exhibits. Right. You can redact it right now. I will do it right now. I want to say we are going to finish the cross faster than we thought, probably before the next break. Then another one of Diddy's attorney, actually the lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, says, may I speak with the government for 1 minute? Then I don't know if he speaks to the judge, but then they bring the jury back. Ms. Ventura, we're almost done here. Thank you. I will read Mr. Combs' messages. You're going to make a beautiful mother. God bless. And then she said in reply, and she's reading her part, she put, thank you. God bless. I wrote, we should talk and have closure. Mr. Combs sent back a tear face emoji. He said, you were always my ride or die. I thought it was nice. You've been craving that? Before. I don't think I was, I don't think I'm craving it now. You shaped you. What I say? What it says? You shaped you over 11 years. So I don't know if that was a mistake in the way she said it, because then she rephrases, you shaped each other. Yes. Your husband's a physical trainer? Yes. The house you grew up in Connecticut was relatively modest compared to mansions? Yes. You were preparing to tour with Matt Testa. Yes, he's an engineer. Once you settled your lawsuit, you canceled the tour, right? Yes, because you no longer needed the money. That wasn't the reason. After the hotel video came out, you posted on Instagram that domestic violence is the issue, right? Yes, I still feel that way. DX1015. Mr. Combs wrote, "Want to freak off one last time?" What did you write? "I don't want it to be the last time. I want to freak off for the first time." Okay. No further questions. And then the judge asked redirect. So redirect is after the cross-examination. So now the cross-examination of Cassie is over. Completely over. Now the prosecutors get to redirect, and then the defense gets to recross her. Okay. Her one more time after this. So this is Prosecutor Johnson. Ms. Ventura, you were shown this message where you ended, "I don't want to freak off for the last time. I want it to be the first time for the rest of our lives." Okay, so now this is given more. "For the rest of our lives." What did you say after that? She's saying yes. She wrote, "I'm horny, just got over a UTI." If you guys don't know, she had chronic UTIs to the point where antibiotics no longer worked. And so when they were doing the freak offs, when they were in the relationship, it was constant like burning and pain. Because again, some of these freak offs, the minimum was 24 hours. I think it actually moved up to minimum 36 hours, and then it could last to 4 days. And in between the freak offs, all she had time to do was recover and try to get her body better, take IV fluids. But it had gotten to the point where the UTIs were so bad, she was resistant to all antibiotics that could treat it. But now it looks like she was able to cure one once they had split apart, or I don't know I don't know what this was. You were shown messages today in which you and Sean were kind and loving. Yes. Did those periods ever last? Objection overruled. No, they didn't last. There'd be a downswing. What world did Sean open you up to? A world of chaos. In your 11-year relationship, who did you want to have sex with? Only him at the time. When Sean wrote, "Seduce me all day," what did you do? Write about freak offs. Okay, so Diddy was writing to her, "I want you to seduce me all day." This so sounds like Diddy. Let's be honest. "I want you to seduce me all day." So when she was replying about freak offs, she's saying that's because that was what the context was. He wanted me to like talk about freak offs and planning and doing that. All right. I'm not judging this one way or other. I'm just giving you more information that I've learned because of all of the studying I've done on this case. You were able to cancel work obligations for freak offs. Yes, if I was told to. When you were shooting the movie in South Africa, you blocked him. How did he contact you? Through Mia. Mia is one of the witnesses in the case, and not just a witness, she's one of the victims that's going to testify. And Mia is not her real name, and they're actually going to put up privacy shields to hide her identity. So nobody will know who she is. But Mia, under this pseudonym, was actually one of Diddy's assistants. This isn't somebody that's Cassie's friend or her side. This is somebody that was hired and worked as Diddy's assistant for quite some time. And Cassie actually witnessed him abusing her, dragging her out of bed, throwing her onto the balcony. So again, I'm just giving you context to who Mia is. So she contacted him through his assistant, Mia. Mia. Remember, that's not her real name. He said he didn't remember hurting you. Did you believe him? Not always, because I knew him. There were times he was pretty aware of what he was doing. It's just who he was. I'd see him be violent with other people. On the way back from Cannes, that's the film festival, what did Sean do? He played a video of me having sex with an escort. What did he say he'd do? He'd release it. When you got to New York, what did Sean ask for? A freak off, or he'd release it. I'm going to add a little clarity here. Sorry, guys. It's just, I want this to be robust so you can not just read it, but understanding. So Cassie actually ended up leaving and she changed her ticket. She got a ticket for a commercial flight, but I guess they would normally fly private. So, but she changed it to get a commercial flight. She paid to get a commercial flight. When she got on the flight, Diddy had changed to be on the same commercial flight and sit next to her. And so it was on this plane that he was showing her this freak off video. And during while they were traveling back from Cannes, when they get to New York, that's when he's saying, the videos I'm showing you, you do a freak off or I'm going to release it. That's her testimony. When Sean wrote, "You ready for tonight?" What did he mean? A freak off. What were you afraid he would do if you did not do that freak off? Objection overruled. I don't know that week. Next question. The judge is done. Do you have any doubt that Sean raped you? Objection overruled. I have no doubt. After Sean raped you on August 18th, did you later have consensual sex with Sean during which your now husband FaceTimed you? Yes. Why did you cancel the tour? After I filed my civil suit, I was overwhelmed. Addressing the past the way that I chose was overwhelming. I didn't want to go. Did you plan to file more lawsuits? No. Would you give the $20 million back if you hadn't have had to do freak offs? Objection overruled. I would give it back to get my agency back. Did he beat you during freak offs? Yes. And Cassie starts crying. Were you open to freak offs at the beginning? At the beginning. Did you tell him when you no longer wanted to do them? Yes, more than once. What concerns did you have about saying no to freak offs? My safety, career, my love. I don't know. I guess she wanted love from Diddy. No further questions. Miss Estavio. So
Like, how could she love Diddy? That's what's tripping me out. How could she love this dude? How could she love anything about Diddy? This motherfucker is crazy. I wouldn't love a damn thing about him. My fault my shit was on mute. But yeah, man, fuck that. I wouldn't love a damn thing about that dude, man.
now the defense is recrossing her. You knew Mr. Combs's sexual preference was these freak offs, right? I learned. It was part of being his girlfriend. Yes. You kept your old device? Yes. This is glitching. And freak off videos in this case, they were all on those devices you kept from 2012 and 2014. I don't know what year. You were able to stand at his side at the Met Gala. Being his girlfriend gave you access to producers, right? Yes. Beyond Kid Cudi, what other musicians were you put in the studio with? Who were you put in the studio with? Nicki Minaj? Yes. Then there's a note. This is the first and so far only reference to Nicki Minaj in this trial.
But her name in that motherfucker though.
He has a note here including about Nicki Minaj, but continuing the testimony. You were put in the studio with Lil Wayne? Yes. And with Rick Ross and Pusha T? Am I forgetting any names? You've got a lot of names. You were self-conscious about your musical talent. I wouldn't say that. You had a bad performance at 106 in Park. Early in my career, you did music videos. Were they successful? May we have a brief sidebar? So that's the judge. D-Rock was like a member of your family. So D-Rock was the head of Diddy Security. All right, so you understand who that is. Yes, like a brother, which is crazy because some of the security, I don't know if D-Rock specifically, but sometimes they would stand guard at the doors in the hallways during a freak off, so she couldn't leave. After, when she tried to get away from him, they would drag her back, put her in a hotel, and all these things to hide her bruises after he beat her up. It was even a time during a birthday party that he threw for her that the security came in. Came in and demanded a freak off. She was like, no, the security came in and dragged her away and made her do a freak off during her birthday party that he threw for her. So, but she still sees them as family. Yes, like a brother. The assistant Mia, you also had a friendship with? Yes. Okay, here you begin with an explicit message, and he responds with one. You are actively sexting. You stated that you were feeling overwhelmed after filing your civil lawsuit, right? Yes. You recently received a settlement from the Intercontinental. No. You made a demand? Yes. 10 million maybe. Anything further? So this is going back to the prosecutors. I just have one question. I was asking Miss Estavio, can you wrap up in 2 minutes? So the judge is clarifying, I wasn't talking to you, prosecutor. I'm talking to the defense. This is the last thing I'll ask you to read, Miss Ventura. Thank you. And then she reads, we need closure and understanding. Now the prosecutors come and ask, why'd you keep your devices? I was afraid of what was on them. I wouldn't take them to the Apple store. Then the defense again with one question. You just reached a $10 million settlement with Intercontinental last week before trial? Objection overruled. Yes. That's interesting. Cassie got a $10 million settlement from the Intercontinental because essentially they covered up and they sold him the tape. Even if it was just an employee who did it, they sold the tape of her beating and what happened to her. And that's, I guess it would be illegal. It's past the statute of limitations, but she can make liability claims against them in a civil court. And they definitely would not want to be dragged into the Diddy thing more than they have. Now that hotel no longer exists. There's a different hotel there, but Intercontinental is a big hotel chain. So they definitely don't want to be tied to Diddy and a big trial. It's already bad enough that the beating video of her trying to get out of a freak off was in their hotel and the whole world has seen it. They don't want to make it worse. So I'm pretty sure that's why they settled. Okay, some more. So during the break, after they were done questioning her, we object to this is the defense. We object to the testimony of the witness after the special agent, Don Richard. Oh, Don Richards was in one of Diddy's groups, I think Danity Kane, and she has alleged abuse from him. I think she's going, no, so it looks like she's going to be a witness. And she's alleged this for other women have alleged this, not her. I think she filed a lawsuit against Diddy like last year or this year, I can't remember. But there are other members, I think Aubrey O'Day, who has been talking about Diddy and his abuse for years. But Don Richard now, one of those women is going to be in there. Sorry, there's a dog. Why is this coming up at 3:30 p.m.? Going forward, you just address things before the courtroom. So then there's a note that says, so why are submissions not in the docket? So again, Matthew is bringing this up. This is very strange that these submissions aren't going into the docket. So then the jury enters now. So they're done with Cassie's cross-examination. She's off the stand, and now they've called a new witness. And this new witness is a special agent Yassine Binda, I want to say. And now there is another prosecutor who is questioning this person, this Fed, and it's Madison Smizer. All right, to give you guys who this is. Good afternoon. Where do you work? HSI in the Human Trafficking Group. I'm in the Crisis Negotiation Group too. Did you ever serve subpoenas in this case? Yes. When Sean Combs was arrested, where did you go? The Park Hyatt, room 2115, where he was staying. They show a photo of the entrance to the jury. I actually have the video of the feds going in and arresting him and taking him out.
So you mean to tell me there's another motherfucker? Now you see how deep this case is. I'm sorry this shit keep popping up. But yo, you see how deep this case is, man. This case is damn near deeper than OJ. Damn near. Because shoot, you got raping, you got extortion, you got sex cohesion. You got motherfucking shit. You got boy. You got a value meal on this bad boy. That's what I'm trying to say, boy. Puffy's ass is DONE done.
What did you do? We assigned a letter to each room and began to search. What was your role? I took photographs of items, then signed them on the 6051 form. Was this found in the closet? So they show photos of plastic bags full of Johnson and Johnson baby oil and Astroglide bottles. Y'all, when they went to go arrest Diddy for what he's on trial now for last year, they found plastic bags full of baby oil and Astroglide. He was having a freak off. Oh my God. Even with Cassie stuff coming out, even with him, his house being raided, and they found out all that baby oil. This is after that. This is after that. They found more baby oil and Astroglide. After they found it was like 1,000 bottles of baby. Okay. Whoa. What was found in the bathroom? That's wild. What was found in the bathroom? Several bottles of baby oil. So even more baby oil. Now the bedroom. What was found in the Louis Vuitton bag? Medication in the name of Frank Black. So that's Diddy's pseudonym that he used to go to hotels when he would do the freak offs. But he has a prescription under that name, but that's not a real name. And that is this. Bags of pink powder found in, and what is this? Bags of pink powder found in the medicine bottle. So there was a stipulation stipulation was shown agreeing it was found and tested by Customs and Border Patrol lab. So it was tested what was in that pink powder that they found in the bottle. The pink powder was found to be ketamine and MDMA in the bottle. Then the physical evidence is then passed around to the jury. Then they show a photo. So I guess they're passing around the bottle. Or maybe they're passing around the pink powder. I don't know.
The ketamine.
What was found in the black mini backpack bag? $9,000. Please take the cash out of the bag. So the agent takes it out and is fanning the bills. No further questions. Any cross? So Tenny Garagos of the defense comes up. In the hotel room, did you see any bags and clothing indicating that a woman was staying with him there? Yes. The U.S. may call its next witness. That was quick. Okay. Your Honor, the government calls Don Richard. Okay, so she's testifying right today. Don Richard.
Oh.
Where are you from? New Orleans, Louisiana. From 2004 to 2011, who did you work for? Puff. Sean Combs. Do you see him? Yes. Who was depicted in this photo? Cassie. In 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? She was attacked by Sean Combs, kicked. Did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Often. Then they show a photo of Diddy, and then I think his Dirty Money music video shown. When you were a member of this group, when were you a member of this group? 2009 to 2011. The incident in 2009 when Sean Combs beat Cassie, where was it? In Sean Combs' LA home. We were recording. What did he do? He was saying, where the F is my food? He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. What did she do? She went into a fetal position. Then what? Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and body, then dragged her up the first floor, glass breaking and yelling. I was scared for her and for me too. Did you intervene? No. Did you call police? No. The next day, what happened? I guess she spoke to Cassie, and Cassie was saying that it had been passionate and that she was okay. That was just, I guess he was just very passionate. I guess Cassie said, but that everything was fine. That it would be better if we didn't talk, that people could end up missing. So Cassie tells her, listen, we don't need to talk because people could end up missing. That's wild. How did you understand that? Death, objection, sidebar. Okay. So that was 15 minutes ago. Let me see if there's anything else added. All right. So they're back. So they're back from the sidebar. Jurors, you can leave for the weekend, watch the Yankees play the Mets or the Knicks. If you're not into sports, there's a lot going on. See you Monday. Jury leaves. So the judge says, Miss Richards, you can leave. So Dawn Richards leaves. They'll continue on Monday. About this line of testimony, this shows consciousness of guilt for count one and relevant to count one. And it's relevant to count one. It's not sex trafficking. It's domestic violence. Why didn't you bring a motion in on this? Lyman in on this? I don't know. So this is Agnifilo. The defense objected to the testimony. And now the judge is questioning, if you had a problem with it, why didn't you bring a motion for it about this testimony previously? And their response is, I don't know. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. All right. And that's the last thing we have 5 minutes ago. It is now past 5 o'clock. I don't know if we'll get anything else, but I think court is out for the day. There was a lot to read. You guys stood in there with me. When I do these things, I have to add clarity because people don't know all of this. Some of you guys may know who everyone is. You may have watched my recaps. You may have seen the different things I've talked about, but a lot of people haven't. So I want to add color. I want to do that. But guys, let me know how you want me to read it. Do you like me adding in content?
Well then, y'all, since we already know the whole recap behind it, so basically we already know that Diddy is fucked. The game is over. The game is done. He's not passing go. Diddy is OV. OVO. Nah. Nah. I said that all wrong. But Jodo, but anyways, that dude is done. That game is over. Magazine coming out soon. Get ready, y'all. It's gonna happen. Then we got Volume 2 coming out right after that. Get ready. You see, he's gonna have C Double, Mr. Loke, Chief Wee. Yes, sir. It's happening. This bad boy was the first one. I'm telling you, man. This right here, boy, I had to do like 4 or 5 different copies of it, boy, just to make sure I got it right. But anyways, I'm up out of here.